you gotta work hard. And when you really when you do something, when you have a job, make yourself irreplaceable. All right, don't do what everyone else doing. Make it to the point that they say, I can't get rid of him. I need him around. I rely on him, So that was the biggest advice I got. And just told me, just make yourself the best at what you do and make yourself irreplaceable. So
what's up, everybody? Here with Off the Field special guest Kayon Whitaker. How you doing today, bro?
What's up, man? How you? I'm doing good.
Good. Before we get into the interview, we're gonna pull out some of your old highlights for the fans and everybody to see.
All right, that's a bet. Put the highlights out. Ooh.
Here's all the accolades. I didn't know you had all these accolades.
Yeah, skip ahead like 20 seconds.
20 seconds.
Yeah, right there. Perfect time right there.
I remember this game.
Jacksonville State.
Playoff game too. First
round. That was the first drive on defense. Nice little double swipe, come off the edge, get the ball out. Know what type time it was going that way.
Look at that.
This is on me.
And it's just sex.
Yeah, man. Hey, it's crazy. I was just talking to one of the coaches here. I was telling him when I was playing, like all I thought about was the ball. I'm pursuing a tackle, chase something down, whatever, rushing off the edge. I'm just thinking about the ball. I wasn't thinking about nothing else. A lot of people want to make the tackle. I literally stare at the ball while I'm chasing somebody. So
yeah. That's what it looked like.
Yeah, man. Make big plays. That's what's gonna separate you from everybody else. So that's just the mentality I always had.
I remember that game.
Yeah, Delaware. Yeah, this the career highlight. So you see number 97, number 9. 97 was before my junior year.
You were number
9. That's one of my favorite plays. I really took the ball out of his hand.
Right here?
This one too. This one I got robbed.
Oh, you just tried to say he was down?
Yeah.
That's crazy. That boy's still up as well.
That's the that left tackle right there. He started left guard for the Tampa Bay Bucks when they won the Super Bowl.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah. That's one thing about that league, though. I played against some NFL players, especially offensive tackles in that league.
That move was crazy. Who did the best O-lineman you played? Yeah.
That's O-lineman. This boy right here was fool. He was like the #1 ranked player coming out for NCAA. Yeah, he was the #1 ranked FCS prospect. Best O-lineman I played against, though, probably Kyle Murphy, the left tackle right there for Rhode Island. I'm 74.
Okay.
He played for the Giants now. He probably the best O-lineman. Between him and Demby, a former teammate. So
I say, yeah, Demby. Damn. So I just thought about it. You was going against Demby every day. That shit probably got you better.
Yeah, it did, most definitely. And he used to, we used to compete so much that it literally made us dominant players at this level. And he was a big part of my confidence because he used to always tell me that I was better than a lot of people he was playing against. And that's when I was very assured in the scout team. So it just made me want to keep working harder.
That'll be a highlight. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Yeah, this jump can go forever. We got
All right, let's say
to
that.
go forever.
So first question of the day. You was on the field playing, balling, but now you ended up in the coaching room. So tell me how your journey was throughout the transition process.
It's crazy because you know, I played, had accolades of the 3-time all conference, the all American stats, and all that stuff. Came out COVID year, so never had a pro day, hurt my chances of being drafted. Still was talking to a few teams. So once I finished my last season for like a year and a half, talking to at least like 20, 22 NFL teams, 3 or 4 CFL teams, but the CFL had got shut down. And kept training, speed trainer, trying to stay ready. The COVID rules made restrictions a lot more difficult. You couldn't get as many people in the facility as you usually can. So just kept my head down, kept working. But after a while, I had to find a way to feed the fam. Personal situations started happening, so had to figure some things out. So I just decided to go back to school and get my second degree. Called the coach. It was like, "Yo, coach, I'm trying to come back. If you mind, if I help out, I'm up there." And he had offered me the job. So that's how I got into coaching. It's crazy. My people always told me, they said, "Yeah, you should try coaching. You'll make a good coach." Like, I think that's what you're like doing. I'm like, nah, I don't think I will, be honest with you. So, but first season doing it, I fell in love because people say you should get a job that don't feel like a job, and it literally don't. So every day I go out there, it's like I'm going to practice. I'm going to watch film. I'm going to study, get better what I'm doing, but I don't feel like I'm at work. Transition though, from going from a player to a coach, especially by me being so young, I feel like the hardest thing is basically knowing how to balance between a player and coach relationship. Basically like trying not to basically keeping it professional. You want to have that relationship with your players,
right?
You don't want them to be too comfortable, because at the same time, I'm your coach. I'm not trying to be your friend right now. So just having that balance. And
so how do you keep that balance?
How? I'm actually lucky being here because the head coach here, Greg Schiano, who was a former NFL head coach for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, got plenty of experience, coached under what's his name? Penn State old coach. Can't think of his name right now.
Franklin? Coach Franklin?
Not Franklin, the old Paterno.
Okay, yeah.
The most winning coach in college football. He learned under him. So I got a great coach who has a lot of experience and knowledge. And I asked some questions that some other young coaches on the staff questions, But the way I keep the separation is basically like, obviously you want to get your players' trust and have them be able to tell you things when it's problems, but just more so just speak when needed. Talk to them about certain situations, check on them, and see how their family doing, things like that. But if you talk too much, then when you say certain stuff, they're not gonna really hear you. You should want it so that when you speak to them, they're listening to everything that you're saying. So really keeping, using your words wisely, knowing when to speak, when not to speak, knowing when to joke around with them. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like you just got to get the feel of it, and you learn.
Right. Because like the transition for you, like you was just done with playing football 2 years ago. Now you coaching some of the kids that are still your age. So it's like, how you gonna make that balance? Because you are the coach and they are the players, but your job is to get them better. So I know that could definitely be a hard task to do. Definitely.
Yeah. So like you said, man, I'm close to their age, so they feel a little bit more comfortable telling me certain stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but like I said, just building that trust, and they know that I can relate to what they're doing because I've been through it. So
Right.
I just give them the advice that I feel like is needed at the time, and then we just keep moving forward.
So let's talk about the conversations about the life as a coach. Like being the coach, being in the rooms now. Like you think you're in the rooms because you was a captain of the team, but now you're a coach on the team. Are the conversations you have with the coaches different? Are they the same? Talk to me about that.
So we actually so the conversations now is from a different perspective. As a player, you come in the mornings and they have everything mapped out for you, study sheets. You look at, explain it to you, a quick little scout PowerPoint or whatever of the opposing team that you're playing. And, they have everything mapped out for you. You take that information and you go to practice, whatever new plays you install, and, you just go perform.
Mm-hmm.
Now, as a coach, I realized that I thought it was tough being a college athlete, playing and, but now I see that the coaches put in just as much work, if not more hours. Because, when you're playing, it's a lot of mental, but mostly physical stress because you're using your body, especially in football in the sport. But as a coach, it's you gotta be mentally tough. Because there's gonna be plenty of nights where it's long hours. When I mean long hours, like I had some nights I came in at 5 a.m. or I'm gonna say 5:30, 5:45 a.m. and left about 1:30, 2 a.m. I had to be back in by 6 a.m. the next day. So, it's a lot of mental stress. You gotta be mentally tough, but you still have to balance checking on the fam. Like that's kind of what I do just to get away, so I don't get what am I trying to say? So I don't have too much football. Just kind of keep my mind in a good state and stay at a clear level. So that's the time I take the walk around, call the fam, checking on them, see how they doing, call my lady, see how she make sure she good, things like that. So, but like main thing is a lot more mental stress, and we're the ones that narrow down the game plan, work basically every day of the week doing something, so they keep the guys prepared. So during the season, it's probably the toughest part, especially when they get towards the end because there's so many weeks piled up, and you're trying to weeks piled up, and you're trying to basically get through it. You see the finish line coming up, but
so talk to me a day in the life as a coach. Like you said, you in there from 5:30 a.m. You don't get home till 2 a.m. So like, what is that like? What are things y'all doing? What are things y'all game planning? Y'all talking, chilling? Like, what is it like that?
So every school has their own schedule. You know what I mean? Because certain days they might want to focus on, say, first and second down, and then you might have a third down day and a red zone day. So, but for the most part, we'll come in with a game plan. We'll have a day of game plan, and we usually do that on Sundays. Or no, Mondays. I'm sorry. Sundays we'll watch the film with the kids from the previous game, but Mondays we have game plan. Tuesday we come in. We'll give the players the game plan, teach them what we need to teach them, get ready for practice, go practice. Soon we finish practice, get something to eat, and we're right back in the staff meeting room watching film. We watch every rep, every single thing, the practice from Andy, the team, get through all of that. Then we start preparing for the next day. So, every little mistake there is, we fix it. Like as a coach, you have to be a perfectionist. So you can't, if you let one thing slide one time, then it's going to become a habit. So you literally, every time there's a mistake or something, you got to clean it up right away.
So making the transition from player to coach or just player to the real world, do you feel like you was fully prepared the transition off the field?
It was some hesitation, going from being an athlete and just being a football player throughout my college career, and then stepping into like, all right, now this is gonna be my job, so I gotta take it a lot more serious, not that I wasn't taking it serious as a player, but it's a different approach because this is your kind of your job now. Like, no slacking. You slack, they can get rid of you. So every day I bring full effort. But once you kind of get your feet in the field, you start to figure it out, and then that's one of the things I do like about being at Maine and being a former D1 athlete is you learn how to adjust. So and learn how to adapt. That's the biggest thing. So just basically learning the culture of the program that you're currently at and adjusting to it. That was probably the biggest challenge, and that's something that I feel like I handled pretty well.
Do you feel like most athletes are prepared for this life off the field? Why or why not?
It's not easy. Just like playing college football isn't easy, coaching, it's not easy. It's not for everyone. If it was easy, everybody would coach, You got to really be committed. I had some tough times when I first started off. So to the point where it was, everybody wants the big bucks, but when I first started out, I was working for free. I had months where I was just basically volunteering, being a volunteer coach. And this is before I got to Rutgers University. So
really, where were you volunteering at?
So when I also had coached at Maine. First season I coached, I was a QC and the outside linebackers coach. Season go by, new head coach come in, and he fired the whole defensive staff and kept 3 people, and I was one of the 3 people that he kept. So while I returned and while I'm trying to figure out that situation, no contract had been signed, or I don't know if he wanted to see what type of coach I was because I was so young or what, but I just stuck in it. And then after about a month and a half, 2 months, I decided, I need to spread my wings and go a separate way. So had got a couple of job offers, and I seen this opportunity open up and took advantage of it. I came, did an interview, killed it, and now I'm here.
Wow.
Yeah, I've been here for got here in March, so April, May, June. So about 8 months now. Got promoted to the wide receiver assistant coach. I've been here for about 5.5, 6 months. So
wow.
Yeah, so I appreciate that, man. So it's just you gotta work hard, and when you do something, when you have a job, make yourself irreplaceable. All right, don't do what everyone else doing. Make it to the point that they say, I can't get rid of him. I need him around. I rely on him, So that was the biggest advice I got. And just told me, just make yourself the best at what you do and make yourself irreplaceable. So
what are some things you can do to make yourself irreplaceable?
Things you can do. Work hard. Everyone works hard, but being that guy that whenever a moment pops up, I got it. I can do it for you. No hesitation. Other people might, even though it's something that nobody really wants to do, be that guy that's gonna go get it done. And then when you go do something, get it done with urgency. Don't hesitate. Don't take a long time. Like, get it done. Make sure it's complete. Make sure it's correct. Don't just turn it in or check your work. Like I said, be a perfectionist. And urgency is the biggest thing. All right, because I'd rather have someone that's gonna get the work done correct and fast than someone that's gonna take a long time to do it.
So what actually made you get into coaching? I know you said you was preparing for the season. Preparing for the NFL. life hits you, you need to find a source of income, but what actually made you say, okay, I'm actually going coach at Maine?
So literally I had went back to school, and when I went back to school, I was like, I'm gonna be there to get my second degree, 'cause I was going back to get my accounting degree. So I'm saying, as I'm there, I might as well try to get involved in the team in some type of way. So what I did was I called the coach, and I told him, I said, "Yo, coach, how you doing?" At the time he was the offensive coordinator. Actually, no, he got promoted to head coach my senior year, Nick Charlie. And I
Okay.
had called him and told him, like, "Coach, I'm coming back to school, so I just wanted to know if if I'd be able to be around the team and help out, things like that." He said, "I would love for you to be around. I feel like I guys need someone like you around, because I was a captain for him my senior year, and he said we need someone with your type of leadership." So I had went back, and when I got back a couple of days, literally probably like a week before the first game of the season. So I had missed the entire camp, and I was on staff, and we got it working. So I was asking a lot of questions just to catch up to speed, spending extra time in there. When everyone else went home, I'd be there extra 2 hours. Just really working hard. So those just the things you got to do. Obviously networking is a big thing. When you know people, use your network.
Right. And I know, like, coaching wise, like, I know as a player, the network feels small because it feels like everybody know each other, right?
Right.
Is that the same thing going on with coaching? Do a lot of the coaches know each other?
It seemed like it. See, I haven't been in the game as long as these other coaches, but they be speaking about people back first and last name. I'm like, who is that? But
Right.
it seemed like they all know each other. It's kind of like organization. So once you get into something, you kind of get familiar with everybody else. So there are some coaches that I know at all levels, D1, D2, all these different levels and stuff. And I just kind of keep talking, and every away game, I try to meet the coaches or say what's on, whatever it is, network. It's all about who you know at the end of the day.
Right. So what are some biggest challenges that you face as a coach besides the long hours?
Biggest challenge is literally bringing the energy every day, having the right mindset, because your player is going to go off you. You can't be a coach that's out there down and half doing it or have like basically not really bringing the energy.
Hey, talk about this off the field. We giving them the real shit. You could curse.
All right. But yeah, you basically not half-assing nothing. So you basically have to bring the energy. Even when you tired, not feeling well, you can't really show that, So what I do is I get up early, get there, and try to get myself together, because they're gonna feed off the energy. And especially once we hit the field, it's like a different switch. Meeting rooms, we could be calm, focused. As long as we focus, I'm not bothered, not worried. You know what I mean? As long as we focus, we good. But soon you start, like, I see there's no sense of urgency, or that you're not really locked in. That's when you have a problem. So by the time we get to that field, you better, whatever it is, you better get it right. Because once we hit that field, we're going. I'm not your friend right now. I'm your coach. So I'm gonna do the best I can do to get you better.
So what are some things you have to do to pick up people's energy? Because I know, being as a player, sometimes I be down some days, or sometimes some other players be down some days. So what are some things you do to, like, pick up their energy, or make sure this is their job as well right now? So if they ain't picking it up, somebody else will.
You gotta know your players. That's why I meant by, like, you gotta build that connection, that relationship. You gotta know your players, man, because they all respond to stuff differently. You got some players that's moody, you got some that's emotional, you got some that you don't even have to say a word to. They're gonna bring you every day. So it's basically about knowing your players, and then knowing how to talk to them, because you can't talk to everyone the same way, because they take things different. So that's why I say it's like a big thing. Like, you can know your X's and O's very well, but at this level, at a Big Ten, Power 5 level, it's 3 things you gotta be able to do as a coach. You gotta be able to coach, you gotta be able to motivate and relate to your players, and you gotta be able to recruit. If you do those 3 things, you're good. All right, now the one that's most stepped on that's probably the most important is recruiting. Because if you can't coach but you can recruit, you're good.
So what you feel like your most strongest out of those 3 years?
My strongest thing is my ability to connect with the players. And I don't know if that's because I'm such a young coach or, like I said, I know when to talk and when not to talk. It's just basically because I seen when there've been times, even when I was a player and now as a coach, I seen it where someone who's a coach may speak, but they're not reaching the players. They just went through one ear and right out the other. They just like, or they just, while you talking, they saying stuff in their head. Like, why is you talking? What you saying? You know?
Yeah.
But there's other people, when they talk, you eye contact, you locked in into what they saying. So that's why it's so important for you to connect with the players, because if you can get them to buy in, you can reach them, that's gonna go a long way, you know? But overall, I feel like I'm well-rounded in all departments, coaching, reaching the players, and recruiting. But like I said, my strongest suit is probably the connection I'm able to have with the kids.
We both played for Coach H and Coach Heatherman at UMaine. So what is it like for them to be on the coaching staff with you now?
They my dogs, man. They're my dogs. Every time I see them, you know, it's love in the building. We keep it professional, but at times we joke around with each other. You know, it's not awkward or anything. You know, at first it kind of was like, man, they really used to coach me. Now I'm over here coaching with them. You know what I mean? So, and we all came up together because after that big season we had, that's kind of what helped their career take that big leap. You know what I mean? After that big season we had, actually that was my All-American year. That's when Coach had went to Minnesota and the other coach had went to JMU. You know, so coming from University of Maine, you know, so they grateful for that, and I'm grateful for them. Always looking out for each other, and it's still that family environment, just like it was when we was at school together. You know, being that family. So they literally be treating me like I'm one of their kids. I'm like, all right, yeah, I got it. Like, chill. You know what I mean?
Like you still little bro.
Yeah, like I'm really like their little brother. So they look out for me. I appreciate it. I love them to death. I promise you I do. So I'm grateful for them. I'm just only thing is I'm on the other side now with my receiver. So I'm not in the meeting rooms with them like I thought I would be. At least I thought I was going to stay on the defensive side, but you know, different opportunities open up. And wide receiver, I actually like it. Like, I ain't gonna say I love it. You know, it's different, something new. I'm still learning. I still have a lot to learn, but I love it for sure.
So what are some tips and strategies that you could share with the players and families about this recruiting process? Like, how do you get recruited? What should you do?
So, tips for the players and families about recruiting, grades. I know y'all getting tired of hearing that. Grades, because if it's someone who's the same athlete that you are, just as big, just as athletic, but they got better grades, and I know they're not gonna be a problem off the field, we're gonna take that person right there. Instead of someone else who got worried about how to basically chaperone the entire time, you know, having surveillance over. You know, you as a costume, you want your freedom, so you don't want someone over your back all the time. So grades is the biggest thing. Effort. A lot of people don't understand that. Literally, especially like defensive players, or offensive players too, based on blocks, just literally running down the field, running to the ball, like finishing the entire play. I know as a defensive player, I had got at least out of my 180 tackles I had in my career, about 100 of them came from me running down the ball. So literally, you'll make that many more plays. You will be a force to reckon with. So effort, grades, and then literally just be a good person. Because if I'm coming to your school to recruit you, I talk to your coach, but I'm also going to talk to your teachers. I'm going to talk to your advisor. I'm going to ask everyone that you don't think we will talk to just to see what type of kid you are. So literally just be a good person. Say hello to everyone, because I remember my mom always taught me, she said, everyone plays a part in winning, even the janitor. So you got to treat just like you'll treat the boss, treat the janitor like it's the boss, because they play a part in you winning too. You know what I mean? So that's just something I go by. She's her main saying though was treat everyone the way you want to be treated. So that's just how I live my life.
That's good. So now we get into the hot seat questions of the interview.
Man, you trying to get me out of here.
What's the craziest recruiting story?
I give you one story. So you want a story from me as a player being recruited, or a story as me as a coach?
I do both.
You want both? Well, so before I was committed to Maine, I don't know how wild it's gonna be, but I'll just tell you something. Before I was committed to Maine, I was committed to Morgan State. First offer I had got, so I just committed to secure the bag. My brother was on the team there, and once you get more offers start to come in. I get my offer to Maine a week before signing day. So I took the visit. Signing day is a Wednesday. Literally the Wednesday before Saturday, I got my offer. I took official visit that weekend. So I go up, had a great time, come back, literally land back in the city. I'm at the airport, me and my pops. He's like, what you gonna do? I said, I'm going to Maine. He said, all right, well, you need to call and tell them. I said, all right. Called the coach, told him, I'm like, hey, coach. He's like, what's up, man? I ain't one of the coaches right now, man. I said, what's up? They like, hey, man, what's up? What's up? I'm like, hey, what's up? Showing love.
Yeah.
Bring the news to him. I just want to let you know I appreciate everything you've done for me, but I'm a decommit. Huh? What? Coach, yeah, man. I appreciate everything you've done, but I just want to let you know I'm decommitting. I don't understand. Where you going? University of Maine. Maine?
Yeah, that's what they say.
I'm like, yeah, he's like, I understand. I guess his alma mater is Holy Cross. I understand Holy Cross, but Maine? Yeah, coach. You was the number one person on our board. Like, what happened? Once you committed, we start recruiting people your position. I'm like, yeah, coach, I just want to fit whole time in the back. My brother go there. So he like, bro, don't come here. Wow. He said, don't come here. I'm like, all right. My brother telling me that, and he's in it.
Yeah. That whole weight for sure.
Right. So I'm like, all right. And I'm like, he's like, I don't just, and just hung up on me. I'm like, hello? What? I'm like, that's crazy. Block me, all that.
That's crazy.
Block me, all that. All that. But as a coach, man, they do a big here as a coach, man. We had no official visits, man. We went to the beach. And it was like we had rented out a whole little spot in the beach and had like tents, food out, cooking on a grill, all that. Volleyball, a little net in the beach, throwing the football around, all that. With the recruits, their families, all that. Then later on that day, we leave the beach, went there probably around noon, came back, went to the hotel, give you a couple hours to just get off your feet. Later on that night, we go out to New York City, Times Square, walking around, hit a little dinner spot, a little restaurant, Thai restaurant, good food, good eats. And then after that, was walking around Times Square. Went to like a little arcade, little spot, bowling and all that. Like it was dope. It was dope. All them, yeah, it's dope. Like I was just like, dang.
All right, that's P5.
Like, yeah, man. You know, our official visits. Yeah, you with the player? Go ahead.
Yeah.
You know, that was it. Nah.
Yeah,
when they came back from New York, you know what I mean? So that's how that went. I'm just like, man. They spoiled over here. This is different. You feel me? Different.
How about you doing? What's your favorite smell in the world?
Say it again.
Favorite smell in the world.
Favorite smell?
Mm-hmm.
My favorite smell, like some of you smells.
Yeah.
Favorite smell in the world. Broad question. Yeah, I never thought about that like that, bro.
Think about this one.
Yeah, favorite smell. It's two things. It's this little smell good that my lady be wearing.
Mm-hmm.
I love like.
That's it.
Yeah, that other than that, money.
I ain't mad at that. Those two good answers. Your lady and money. Those two good answers. Have you ever used your coaching or trainer status to get something?
Nah. I try not to really tell people I'm a coach. You know, only like my personal friends and stuff. They know I'm a coach, and I don't go around like, yeah, I coach at Rutgers. Got a discount for me? Nah, none of that. You know, just obviously because not saying it's like being a celebrity, but I just everyone, if they really want to, they can just Google and I'll pop up. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I don't go around and tell people that, but if you know, you know. Obviously, like if I'm recruiting a kid, I let them know like, yeah, I'm a coach here. But just walking around like, nah, I'm just a normal person walking around. Got drip on. You feel me?
Right.
That's it.
What do you spend too much money on?
What do I spend too much money on?
Yeah.
Food. That's what I spend too much money on. Food and gas. I be driving all around the world. And food, because my lady like to eat. She like to eat. So every time we go out to eat, I'm like, yeah. You know what I mean? I'm driving her. She be wanting to. I'm like, nah, I got you. That's why I'm doing this. So you can sit back, kick your feet up. Right. But yeah, food for sure.
Okay. That's the interview, bro. I really appreciate you for coming on. Anything you want to say to the fans and the crowd that's watching before you get off?
Man, tune in to Off the Field, man. This all the tea. You need some tea. That's where it's at, man. And make sure y'all subscribe on the channel for my boy.
Yes, sir.
Also, if y'all some players that need to be recruited, go see my Twitter _K Whitaker. Some of y'all film. We can tell, and if I like what I see, you know what I mean, I'll reach out.
There you go. That's two things y'all gotta do. You gotta subscribe for the channel. If you're a baller, hit up my boy Kayon Whitaker. Go try to get that Rutgers bag and try to make some plays in the field.
That's it.